When Warren Buffett announced Charlie Munger's death on November 28, 2023, he made a stunning confession. Berkshire Hathaway could not have been built to its present status without Charlie's inspiration, wisdom, and participation. This wasn't just a tribute to a business partner. It was the acknowledgement of a hidden truth that Munger himself had kept secret for 6 decades. In his 2024 shareholder letter, Buffett went even further, calling Charlie the architect of Berkshire Hathaway, while describing himself as merely the general contractor. The man who built a 2 million% return, the greatest wealth compounding machine in history, wasn't the folksy Nebraska investor the world celebrated. It was his curmudgeonly partner from California, a lawyer-turned-investor who transformed not just a company, but an entire philosophy of investing. The story begins in 1959, at a dinner party in Omaha. Charlie Munger, practicing law in California, met Warren Buffett through mutual friends. Both had worked at the same grocery store as teenagers, Buffett and Son, owned by Warren's grandfather. Though they'd never met, they hit it off instantly, beginning what would become one of the most consequential partnerships in business history. But they started from fundamentally different places. Buffett, trained by Benjamin Graham, was hunting for cigar butts, struggling companies so cheap you could buy them, take one last profitable puff and walk away. His first major acquisition, Berkshire Hathaway itself, a failing textile mill that he later admitted was a dumb decision. Munger saw it differently. He'd spent years studying psychology, physics, biology, history, and economics, building what he called a latticework of mental models. This multidisciplinary approach gave him a unique insight. Buying mediocre businesses at bargain prices was a trap. The real wealth came from buying exceptional businesses at fair prices and holding them forever. In 1965, Munger delivered advice that would change everything. Warren, forget about ever buying another company like Berkshire. Add to it wonderful businesses purchased at fair prices and give up buying fair businesses at wonderful prices. In other words, abandon everything you learned from your hero, Ben Graham. In 1972, the philosophy was put to the ultimate test. Robert Flaherty pitched Buffett on buying See's Candies, a California chocolate company. The price, $25 million, 3 times its book value. Buffett's initial reaction? The candy business. I don't think we want to be in the candy business. The numbers looked wrong. The company's tangible assets, inventory, property, equipment, were worth only $8 million. Buffett, the Graham disciple, saw a terrible deal. But Munger saw something Buffett couldn't quantify: brand power, customer loyalty, pricing power. See's could raise prices 10% annually, and customers kept buying. The business required almost no additional capital to grow. It was printing money. Munger convinced Buffett to pay the premium. That $25 million investment has since generated over $2 billion in pre-tax earnings for Berkshire, an 80-fold return, not counting the compounding power of reinvesting those profits. More importantly, See's Candies taught Buffett the value of intangibles. It became the blueprint for every great Berkshire investment that followed: Coca-Cola, American Express, Apple. All companies with unshakable brands, loyal customers, and the ability to compound wealth for decades. As Munger later reflected, "We were lucky to buy See's Candy for $20 million. We soon discovered that the company could increase its product prices by 10% each year, but nobody cared about the increase. Today, this price increase strategy has been implemented for more than 40 years. It didn't even require any new capital." Charlie Munger never sought credit. At Berkshire's legendary annual meetings, he was famous for dryly stating, "I have nothing to add," after Buffett's lengthy answers. He let Warren take the bows, receive the accolades, and become the world's most celebrated investor. But behind the scenes, Munger was the one pushing Buffett beyond his comfort zone, broadening his thinking, sharpening his judgment through their debates, teaching him that great investing wasn't about constant activity, but about patience, discipline, and the courage to act decisively when opportunity knocked. During their reign, Berkshire returned roughly 2 million%, or 20,000 to 1, transforming from a dying textile mill worth $19 per share into a conglomerate worth hundreds of billions. Charlie Munger died just 33 days before his 100th birthday, worth an estimated $2 billion. But his real legacy isn't measured in wealth. It's measured in wisdom, the billion-dollar insight that quality beats cheapness, that brands outlast assets, and that patience compounds better than cleverness. As Buffett himself admitted, Charlie has taught me a lot about valuing businesses and about human nature. Berkshire could not have been built without him. The architect has left us, but the building stands as his monument, a testament to the power of thinking differently, acting rationally, and never, ever settling for mediocrity.